Every June, Americans purchase close to 95 million greeting cards, endless boxes of tools, and mountains of neckties to honor their dads. The massive commercial scale of the holiday feels like a permanent fixture. Yet, while Mother's Day sailed into national law in 1914, it took nearly 6 more decades for Father's Day to achieve the same status. President Richard Nixon finally signed it into law in 1972. That 60-year gap represents a period of failed acts of Congress and multiple economic crises. The primary obstacle blocking the creation of Father's Day wasn't the government, it was the American man. The holiday's roots lie in the dangerous, lethal reality of early 20th century industrial labor. In December 1907, the Monongah mining disaster killed over 360 men. One catastrophe left roughly 1,000 children fatherless overnight. This tragedy prompted Grace Golden Clayton to organize a memorial service for the deceased in 1908. A year later in Washington state, Sonora Smart Dodd proposed a similar day to honor her father, a single parent who raised 6 children alone after his wife died in childbirth. These earliest iterations of Father's Day were desperate attempts to acknowledge the void left in families when male providers were suddenly killed or forced into single parenthood. But when the idea reached the broader public, it met a wall of resistance from the very men it was intended to celebrate. American men actively scoffed at the idea. They viewed the proposed holiday as overly sentimental and a commercial gimmick designed to sell them products paid for out of their own paychecks. Men saw their role exclusively as providers. In this patriarchal model, a man's contribution was measured by his labor, and receiving floral tributes or cards felt like an attempt to domesticate his manliness. This mockery successfully stalled legislation for decades. Men relentlessly used their influence in the press to ridicule what they saw as an effeminate tribute. The holiday only gained traction when the economy collapsed in the 1930s. The Great Depression forced retailers to embrace the commercial strategies men previously rejected. Menswear and tobacco industries were fighting bankruptcy. To survive, they aggressively marketed neckties and tobacco pipes as essential gifts, creating a manufactured reason for families to spend money. World War II cemented this change. Supporting American troops on the front lines was rebranded as a patriotic duty, giving the holiday a weight it previously lacked. As Father's Day expanded internationally, it broke into distinct traditions. In Germany, it coincides with Ascension Day, where men embark on long hikes with beer wagons in a celebration focused on male bonding. In Thailand, the celebration is tied to royal reverence. Citizens honor fathers on the late king's birthday by presenting canna flowers to symbolize strength. The American version of Father's Day survived its first half-century by abandoning its tragic roots and aligning itself with corporate survival and wartime patriotism. By the mid-20th century, the era of fathers toiling in industrial silos, while mothers managed the home, dissolved into a new domestic partnership. This closer proximity allowed researchers to finally study the specific impact of a father's emotional presence. This diagram shows the direct correlation between an active, warm paternal figure and higher educational outcomes. The data shows that children with emotionally available fathers develop better general anger management skills and have higher emotional intelligence as adults. Modern Father's Day recognizes that these roles operate independently of biology. We now celebrate dads of the heart, uncles, grandfathers, and stepfathers, providing the same emotional support. Father's Day is the result of a decades-long struggle to reclassify the American man. It turned a silent provider into an essential anchor whose warmth is now measured in the health and stability of the next generation.